would really be exciting for the Wednesday web jam. And so that's when I, messaged him and said that this is what we do. We have a lovely community. Would you like to share the kind of work we do? And that's when I saw his work on Lego and Mural, and two magic words that come together. And that's when I thought that Benjamin should take the stage. So on to you, Benjamin. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you, Anupa, for inviting me, and thanks everyone for coming today. Yeah, I was excited by this kind of interactive workshop that I co-created. And yeah, I'm Benjamin Dehant. I'm a designer working for Mural. I'm living in the south of France, and I think I'm the only employee in France, by the way. And yeah, I designed for Mural since I think it's just 6 months as full-time designer, but I started using Mural like 1.5 years ago. I was at that time web designer, moving into kind of remote workshop with the corona and facilitation. Then I started to see opportunities to kind of combine these things like web design, UX, UI, and workshop design actually. Because when we go remote, we want something more fun than just a whiteboard with some stickies. And yeah, little by little, I started to kind of experiment, create some boards and make some workshop on LinkedIn first, then for my clients and so on. And then Mural, I think they spotted me on LinkedIn actually, because I was posting a lot, about how to design, how to create in Mural, that kind of things. And one thing leading to another, I got an interview and I got a job at Mural. So I'm officially a Mural experience designer, which is a new title. Basically, it's just UX UI designer for workshop, I hope some people saw my post on LinkedIn already or download the template I created. Try to put a lot of templates for free, both on the Mural side and what I was doing before, like creating workshop or templates for people. That's my story in a very few words. I changed career several times, and yeah, now I'm a designer. And I'm also onto NFTs for next project, but this is another topic for maybe another jam. So yeah, thanks. So thanks for joining, and I hope you will enjoy this workshop that we prepared for you. Maybe shall I share my screen, or someone wants to share the screen of the Mural maybe, so we can introduce a bit the workshop, or should I just share?
Yes, I think why don't you share? It'll just be easier.
Yeah, all right. So 1 second, this is the Zoom problem. Okay, let me know if you see my screen.
I'm sorry to ask, but can we share the Mural link again? I just came in a couple minutes late.
Yes, we're yet to share the exercise. Don't worry, you've not missed anything.
Okay, thanks, Anupa.
Yeah, no problem. Just I will explain after we get this Mural link. So yeah, this is actually a workshop. So yeah, most of the activities are hidden for the moment. So we will probably see them later. I will explain them on the go. What I can share now is the agenda. Maybe you didn't see the agenda yet. So yeah, we already did the 5-minute introduction for the jam, my introduction, which is always fast. And then we will be on to the icebreaker, build a duck, that some of you might know. And we are going to see how it can be done virtually, actually. And then we will play with Mural native shapes, and we will see what we can design all together. And we'll experiment some kind of Mural feature that are fun. And after, we will be into breakout room, as we like to make breakout rooms in meetings and workshop, as you know, and you will have to kind of introduce yourself with Lego bricks, like your LinkedIn headline if you have one, or just your story. And yeah, this will be in breakout, and after we'll be on for the outro. And then we'll have some time also for free talk if you want to stay and speak about Mural or anything else. Yeah, it will be a pleasure for us to do this. So you have some link here, but you will have also on the chat and on other way to get these links. And we will be starting for the duck, which is here. So I'm just going to explain quickly. Then we will send you the link, and you can see also that Anupa got the real version of the duck. And I think she already built something.
Yeah, but I think the Mural version might be a bit more apt.
Well, so actually, this is a good way to explain, because everyone used the Lego in real, and LSP facilitators, they do it physical. When they do it online, usually they ship the Lego bricks to the participant, for example. So with the camera sharing, you can kind of build with your hands to get this feeling, touch, brain, and hand. But we wanted to push this experiment further with LSP people that I met on LinkedIn, and we decided to try to see how it goes virtually. So you have different options, like you can have even some software where you can really move the brick kind of in 3D, but you need some skills in like not 3D design, but that kind of software. And so we wanted to make something in between using Mural, like everyone starts to get used to Mural, you know, and just with kind of basic PNG of this Lego brick and giving even some different point of view of the brick. We wanted to see if people would use it and if it would still work for activities. So just to let you know first, of course, you cannot really recreate the part where you touch the brick and you really think while doing and that kind of aspect. This we lose it a bit, but I think it's still useful to experiment. And some LSP facilitators already use that kind of virtual element. You know, when someone that didn't get the real brick by the post, for example, or yeah, if people are already a bit okay with that kind of experiment, they can use it. So we will try this together. And yeah, so just I wanted to give a shout out to Graham Small, sorry, so because he created these Lego bricks, like it took a lot of time to crop everything and to use them. We have much more on another template that we will share later. And yeah, the idea is you will have to use 6 bricks for the duck. Like this is the 6 brick and a different angle, but you should just use 6 of them. And then you are going to move them like this, for example. And maybe you can put the eye on top, for example. So like what you see is matching well, but maybe if you do this, it will be here, for example. That's the problem with Mural. And so just it will take you some time to kind of play with the bring to front, bring to back. But I'm sure you will manage this because it's just 6 brick. And if you have problem, no worries anyway, no judgment. And yeah, that's going to be it. So if you can see on the right, you have a tons of brick and you are going to use the space under. So remember, just take 6 brick. So you should have 2 red and 4 yellow, of course. And yeah, try to create a duck with just that kind of simple instruction and we will see what you get. I think we will need like 10 minutes maximum for this exercise. So I hope you will enjoy. This is kind of an icebreaker and play experiment. So yeah. Did you put the link already, Anupa? I think
yes.
Some people are
already
it's
already in the chat.
Yeah. All right. Now let's start with 8 minutes and we'll see. I don't know if we got some music or not. We didn't think about the music. I never think about the music. It's okay.
I mean, I don't have, if anybody has any amazing singing skills to accompany their visual skills today, visual and motor skills.
Actually, at Mural, when we have our big meetings, our CEO sometimes plays some guitar, so it's kind of funny.
Oh, we should think about that next session.
And by the way, should I keep on sharing or do you want to share your screen for the recording or is it getting everything right now for YouTube?
Yeah, everything is great.
Okay.
You just have to, you're good to go. So what are the main skills that, people like use while creating this? So it's more of the visual, thinking skills that come out in play, right?
You mean for designing in Mural or for this specific exercise?
For using Lego, as what are the key skills that one would require? Logic, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, Lego in 2D is kind of easier in a way because you don't have so many options, as you can see. So I guess you just need the understanding of the layers. If you do some Photoshop work or anything like this, you understand already the layers, how it works. But in Mural, it's a bit more tricky because you have no place, no folders. You cannot really see what are the layers structure. So you just need the basic understanding of this kind of logic. And then after, it's really about creativity. Some people are going to use just these bricks. Some people are going to adjust the size, for example, as you can see. So it's really about being creative. There is no kind of right or wrong, especially for this exercise. So I don't think there's really some tips. Just try to have fun and to make something that looks like a duck, I would say. Yeah. If for the real world, the Lego LSP has another kind of dimension, which is really like the brain and hand connection while you are thinking and designing. So, and I think I still have some kind of sound from. You still hear Discord, Mimp, or not?
No more. No
okay.
More.
Yeah, I see some ducks appearing. I see some variations which are very interesting.
Yeah, you can already see that. I think there is no similar duck.
Yeah. Yeah. That,
And by the way,
that's.
yeah, so if you have question about how to do it, don't hesitate to ask in the chat. I can explain live and show you how to do things. We assume that you kind of manage this, but don't hesitate if you have any question about how to use Mural or how to play with the brick. I think we have a question. Can you please share the link? Okay, it's already done. No problem, Sophie. So we have some kind of funny duck around here. I think some people are using more than 6 brick. Yeah, I can see here, for example. So yeah, see, it's interesting to see that we just ask you to make a duck and we already see like so many different things. I'm curious to know if some people in the audience, you already did this exercise before, or it's the first time, the duck exercise. You can maybe just react in the chat if you already tried this exercise.
Nikki has a question saying, how do you get it to stay? How do you stack it one on top of the other?
Yes. So
Patrick, maybe
here's
you
really
could refresh. Just send it to you.
So the way to stack is kind of it's a bit kind of cheating. If you can see the screen, I'm screen sharing. And yeah, you would guess that if you bring it like this and you try to make it fit, it would kind of automatically work, but sometimes yes, sometimes no. You could see that there was a line saying like, oh, maybe it's gonna adjust. It's not always working. And if it's not front back done in the good way, it's going to be a bit weird behavior. So you have really to play with the layers, like send to back, send to front all the time. So try to visualize like what's the last thing that came, where is it? And yeah, it can be a bit tricky at the beginning, but it's a good way to practice this kind of invisible layer dynamic. Oh, what do we have here? Yeah, that's something you can do in the virtual world with Lego that you could not do actually with the real Lego, I guess. It would not work. So some people are already going further and using the virtual abilities. Yeah, and you can also make them speak. So you see, you can be quite creative. And by the way, what did they say in the chat when we asked? Okay, so we have LSP facilitators, some people who already tried first time, a bit of everyone. Yeah. And I hope Patrick managed to get the mural going on. Oh, it seems we need maybe more brick. I think I have a couple more in my content library. The duck, yeah. Here. So I'm just going to add some more brick if you want for people who are just joining now. It starts to be messy. And I think we have 2 minutes left. And Anupa, if you want to make one or meme also, please feel free to try. What do we have? All right. I think somehow at the end for the, when we'll share this mural after the workshop, I will try to get all the duck together just to see how it looks like.
Daniela has a comment. She said the bring to front and send to back do not work as a visitor and a sad face.
Oh, really? That would be the first time I hear this. It may be weird. Which like browser do you use, or what are you using to join us?
It's Chrome. Let me
Chrome,
refresh.
Yeah, maybe. Even as a visitor, you should be able to bring to front and back normally.
Joshua said it works for him.
Yeah, so I think you can just, refresh.
Yeah, it's not working for me, but.
Okay, so you might have a duck that looks like something else. Sorry.
Yes, Patrick, the board is going to be up on our website, so you can visit it again. And yeah, maybe Benjamin, we can have one version, for just people to use as as just an option once.
Yeah, sure. We will share these links after, and you can even copy these bricks for your own mural if you have a mural account, so you can try this exercise later on. Feel free. Just if you use this duck exercise later on, try to keep the Graham because he created this. It's nice to give him this credit. And yeah, okay. So timer is off. Are we good? Do we need some time? What do we say? Let's check in the chat. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm just going to show you quickly mine, but I think I should feel shame now because mine is super basic. Let me just, I don't like to summon, but I will just summon you. And yeah, here. So this is mine, pretty basic. I wanted to play a bit like with the angle and to make a kind of normal duck. And so, yeah, I remember the most important thing here is just there is no right or wrong. You just have to kind of enjoy doing this, like experiment. And you can see that if we give an instruction a bit like why like make a duck, you have no one making the same duck actually. And you can think about this when you are in a meeting or on project, like, yeah, think about that. If you give a basic instruction, people are going to do different things. So it's good sometimes to get more clarity. And also that you can see you have a lot of different options with just 6 bricks. So yeah, for your project or anything, you should really try to get everybody ideas, opinion, and input so that you can really be more creative in your project. So yeah, just a little comment about this. I hope this little icebreaker was good and people are playing, I think, with the duck, which is nice. And now we are going to the next exercise, which is just under plenary activity. I'm just going to delete this. Just want to check. I don't think is there anyone else in your second mural, MIP, or we are just here? Is it good?
Nobody using second mural here is good.
Okay, so perfect. All right. And we have a duck. So yeah, for this second exercise, it's called the house. And the funny thing is that I actually run this exercise with Lego because I had a workshop with Lego recently. And actually, Lego doesn't want to use the virtual Lego brick for their internal meeting because, copyright and stuff like this. So I made an exercise just with mural shape for them, actually. And we are going to do something similar. So here, the idea is you are going to build a house. Once again, this is just an example that I created with mural shapes. So like triangle, rectangle, circle, anything with icon, pictures, and GIF. Just a quick note, if you don't know how to get GIF in Mural, when you go on the image, you can like house space, and you can just type GIF, and it takes a bit of time now. But if you add normally PNG, you can sometimes get a GIF without the background, which is even more fun when you try to design a mural because it's already kind of nicely cropped and it's easy to integrate. This is obviously not the house, but it's a GIF as a PNG. And so you can play with that kind of stuff when you're creating a mural. So just an information. So yeah, you are going to take a spot and add your name on these stickies, or you can find a name for your house. And you're just going to use this. And the thing is, just wait 1 second before starting. We are going to put the private mode. So normally we are not going to see what each other is creating. And at the end of the time, we are going to reveal this. And then we have a voting session on the house, which is the most crazy fun or something like that. So if you have questions, don't hesitate. Let's just check the chat before. I think we are good. So let me just start the private mode. Yes, show turn private mode hand. Yeah. Up. We'll put a timer. So now you have a message normally. And we will take, I think we can do this also in 8 minutes. We will see. And normally now you can start building and no one is going to see what the other is doing. We just see some duck part that I'm going to clean, I think. But yeah. And once again, if you have question, don't hesitate.
Benjamin, I saw
Yeah.
someone in the second mural, a visiting cat, but there's only one person there.
Okay, maybe we can try to put the link there of this mural to see if the person understands.
Will do.
Just try. I'm gonna see. Oh yeah, there's 2 people. Just putting the link here. Maybe they will understand.
You can just say, hi, this is Benjamin. So,
Yeah, let's be
and
nice.
yeah, I think that'll be nice for them to be like, surprised.
Let's do something quickly. Okay. So what do we have? Okay, I can see some shape, but like just white mask. We have some nice stuff going on, it seems.
Yeah. This is a great tool for people to have conversations, within, let's say, remote exercises. How easy is it for, let's say, from your experience, for, let's say, clients who are not so well versed with Mural to catch on to something like this, because there is some sort of skill that is required, along with, the thinking and the whole process. What would you say about that?
You mean about kind of trying to design in Mural, especially?
No, yeah,
I think
exactly.
usually
For someone who's not that using Mural, and especially using Lego as a medium, because there are 2 different things. How would you like what would be like the steps of initiating that process to somebody who's very new to this whole area?
I think it's really about creating a space where people feel okay to try, even if they are not designers and they have to tell in. Sometimes people have no skills in design yet, they never tried, but everyone is creative actually. Just sometimes we don't master yet the tool to express the creativity. So I think it's really about creating a safe space for them to experiment, like no judgment, just really help them getting started, play a bit with the shapes and the thing. And I don't think it's easier on Mural, but I have the feeling it's a bit easier because you are online, you can even turn off your camera, you can experiment, and it's okay kind of to fail because I think people are less going to judge you on that kind of tool. At least that's what I could see in workshop and experiment. And so yeah, I think it's really about creating space for people to try and to really like show them example and how to do and what is the point of doing this. Because of course we are building a house. I mean, you're not probably going to build a house in a workshop or maybe as an icebreaker, but it's really about it's okay to try. You can really play with the shape to create your own kind of experience online. Because what I could see is that usually when I try to spend a lot of time to design a mural board for clients for some workshop, in the end, the engagement is kind of increased. People are more focused into the workshop and the outcome is kind of better because people were really focused. So yeah, that's a good point that can happen after designing murals such as this one. Yeah, I don't know if it's really answer your question, but yeah, it's like helping people to experiment and feel okay to fail and just try practicing. But on the other side, yeah, if you make a nice mural with a good UX and UI after, people feel better to go into the workshop and to do the things they have to do.
Yeah. If anybody from the audience likes to, say something while they're creating their house, please feel free. We're just both having a chat because I think everybody's really engrossed into making their house. But yeah, if you want to start just a chat.
Oh, it seems you have a problem. I see a message that yeah, private mode sometimes is a bit buggy. It was Yana. So yeah, maybe what I can do is I can just stop the private mode now and give you a couple more minutes so that you can build and it's okay if people see, because yeah, I think sometimes it's a bit buggy.
Benjamin, can I tell you what happened with private mode?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened halfway through. I was working on my house and then it's like private mode re-enabled and it hid everything I was doing from me.
Yeah.
So I couldn't keep working on my own house.
I heard this once also the feedback and I'm not sure why. Did it refresh or it just suddenly happened?
I did see it refresh. I don't know if it was when you went to the other mural and then came back. I'm not sure because I was paying attention to my house.
Oh yeah, yeah. Sometimes it can happen if you're a visitor, and I think if somehow it refresh, I don't think it's saved. Maybe if you're a member or not, but I'm not sure. So yeah, I'm just gonna end it because it's not fun to start building a house again. And anyway, we'll see what people done already. Yeah, I can see some nice stuff. Just gonna add a couple more minutes, and I think we should be good. Oh, what do we have here?
Would anybody like to share their thoughts about their experience of building a house?
But you can continue as well. Oh, we have some nice stuff. We have, yeah, maybe let's just give like 2-3 more minutes and then they can just get off mic to explain. And after we'll vote. What do we have in the chat? I find this very frustrating. It's Christia. Is it about the private mode thing? Yes, now working. Okay, so yeah, maybe I will have to say this to Mural because it's the second time in a workshop. This private mode is a bit buggy.
Well, I think it's just a part of a new experience that we learn and we fail together. That's what the Wednesday Web Jam is about.
We have some nice, yeah, we can see some people are like really using the geometric shape while others are kind of combining pictures and GIF and stuff. So yeah, I really like to see different ways of doing this exercise. Can I keep this house? I guess so. Laxman, I don't know if it's the Laxman I know. He's under construction. Yeah, hi Laxman. Oh, sorry, Christia. And maybe we should have said at the beginning that you need some basic knowledge of Mural, but yeah, we assume that some people joining would know a bit. So I'm sorry for this, but I think it's really like, feel free to, you can just even play with the picture, you know, you can just search for house or try some stuff like this. There is really no judgment at the end about the design skills of the house, I would say. So we have 1 minute left. I think we are almost good. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. In the real world with client, of course, you might not start straight away like this. When I was doing it with Lego, for example, we had some like pre-work or things like this to check their level and to help them be kind of at the same level. But yeah, of course, you would probably explain in the videos how to use Mural, like create stickies, play with shape and that kind of thing. And yeah, usually I like even to prepare space on the Mural for in advance before a workshop with a long video, long recording explaining how to use Mural, the basics. And I give like a sandbox to people so they can practice, you know. Of course, with clients, you don't want to take the risk to put them in a frustration state. So yeah, makes sense. All right, I think we are good. We are probably just making a quick voting session and then we'll be on to the breakout room. So let's just maybe just free vote, and you can vote. So there are new options in Mural, but might be also confusing. Yeah, if you want to discover, we can try it. So normally you should just vote on the stickies. If you put a sticky with the name on your house, as you can see now, you just see the sticky, and they will see how it goes. Maybe the text box in case. And so now you can vote just on the stickies normally, or the text box, as you can see. So you have to zoom in a bit, because otherwise the yellow stickies are a bit hard to see with this kind of blur effect. But let's just vote on the house that you like, you think is fun, or you can vote on your own house, of course. Let's just take 1 minute for this, just for fun. So. Yeah, as you say, Christia, it's a real challenge. And yeah, when I'm speaking with the LSP community online, there's like two sides. Like some people say it's really not working with Mural, for example. I mean, you can use Mural, but you have to have the people to have the real bricks, for example. You can combine something like this. It's kind of still working, but totally virtually, it's kind of hard for the moment, yeah. But I believe there are some ways to explore it, or the LSP, exercise and philosophy kind of, but not with Lego. You can do it with like shape maybe, or other things. Okay, time's up. Let's see. Oh, people have still people are voting, so let's give an extra minute.
Ileana asked, how do you vote? So you could just explain the process.
Oh yeah, I can do it if you check my screen. So you need to zoom in a bit to see, because now there's a new feature in Mural that hides other things, because before people were kind of voting on sometimes other elements during a voting session instead of the sticky. So now you can hide the other things, and you can just left click on a sticky. Let's say I like the Reno house, for example, or the Reno person. And I would just left click, and then you can see a little number saying that I gave a vote. And now if I want to add another vote on this sticky, I would just left click again and select add vote. Or I can left click and say remove vote, for example. And then you can go on another sticky and press. So you can vote on this. Is confusing if you think it's relevant, for example. But yeah, the idea is to vote on the name of the house. I hope this helps. My sticky disappeared. This is Lorraine. So I hope no one deleted your sticky. Okay, we still have a lot of people who didn't vote. I don't know if they are able to vote or they are just not here. Maybe you can wait 30 seconds and then we can end this. Yeah, up, end voting session. Let's just see. Oh, it seems we have Ilona and Frankie. Let's see what it looks like. And so yeah, if you zoom in, you might see the little numbers. So we can see that Reno is a 6. And let's just try to say congrats to Ilona, which is I don't know where. And after we'll jump on the next one. I cannot find Ilona. Ilona, if you are here, if you can tell me where is your house, it would be great.
It's the second from the top left.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. It's a big house, I would say. Yeah, see? So just with some picture, GIF, and elements, you can manage to make something pretty fun. But yeah, just I wanted to show you that you can do that kind of stuff. So of course, it's just about practicing mural shape. You are not going to make this for a workshop or just as an icebreaker, for example. But yeah, it's good, I think, to practice to see that it's not so hard if you give it a try, and no need to make something super accurate, just feel free to have fun. And yeah. And now we are going to another Lego exercise that we experimented with my colleague Guy. So if you can just come to the bottom, which is the profile exercise. I'm going to explain it, sorry, and after we are going to the breakout room. So basically, this is the Lego pieces that you have in an exploratory bag, and Laxman knows this better than me, but yeah, this is all the pieces you can get in the very first bag that you can receive for LSP workshop. And it's just going to be, you have to choose 5 bricks, actually, just 5. And you are going to try to explain your LinkedIn headline, or if you don't have, just think about your job title. And you are going to try to explain your job title with bricks, like a metaphor. So this is the first thing you are going to do in breakout. So you have space under. When we'll send you into breakout, you will see like the breakout room 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So just take a space in your breakout and take some bricks, create something with them, and add on sticky your headline, for example. And after, we'll have a few minutes to exchange with the other people in the breakout and speak about why you created it this way, why you use this brick. And yeah, it's just to make to present yourself to each other with the Lego bricks. We tried this once with the LSP community. It was quite fun. We did it with more bricks, actually, but if we are like 40, I guess it might be super laggy if we have too much. So I think 5 bricks is good. Yeah. So you can have a look here. This is the person who helped me for this exercise, and you can check his LinkedIn profile after. And yeah, let's just put people into breakout and let's try this. If you have questions, don't hesitate. Or I see the chat, there's a lot of message.
Okay, I'm just going to make the breakout rooms. And yeah.
I think there was.
Yeah. Mim, Benjamin, please come back if you're sent into
yeah, sure.
the breakout.
Yes.
And off the others go. I'm just going to.
And I think someone asked for the triangle of my house. I think I just like, there's a hack to put another triangle the other way to make the effect if it's this, but I will show later.
Okay, I've started sending people off to their breakout rooms. It's quite interesting that, people, we have a very global audience, and, most people have used a triangle. So the language of, visual thinking is so similar, even if you don't know the person, and yet people are creating similar objects. And, I think that's also really nice that, this is a visual platform that, people are getting to explore. And yeah, it's nice. We've quite a few people with us in the plenary still. So if they'd like to sit and also chat with us, please feel free. Benjamin, why don't you tell us a little bit about the whole idea of Lego and Mural and how it started, and and your story connected to it?
Yeah, actually, so it all started, I think, a couple of months ago. I think at that time I was just trying to see what kind of new content I could create, for Mural and LinkedIn. At that time, I was trying to explore. And I know at Mural, especially Mariano, the CEO, he really likes Lego. He's a fan of Lego. I know Lego is a client of Mural also. And I was thinking there is probably something to do with the Lego because, it's super creative and we do it since we are kids. And then there's the LSP community, which is using this Lego for kind of design thinking activities. And I was like, there is definitely something to try because we have Mural, we have Lego, and I was really curious to explore this. So I started to look how I can create bricks for Mural, and I saw some people already trying this, like Laxman, who is with us. I think he did it, this experiment a while ago as well. And so, yeah, I was just exploring, and I made the post, and it was like so many people commented about this that I was like, okay, there's a topic, something to dive deep into. Like so many people were saying it's not a good idea to make Lego in Mural because you lose this kind of aspect, hand and the brain connection and that kind of stuff. But some other people were saying it's worth exploring. So I got in touch with people from this community, like that you saw in the instruction, and other people. And then we started to run some workshop and trying to see what we can do with the bricks. So that's another template we'll share later. Because yeah, with the corona now we had to do it remotely, and some people had problem when they send the exploration back, for example, to clients, or some other, like with Mural, it was a bit hard. So yeah, it kind of happened like this, and we realized that it's kind of hard because you cannot really play with the brick as you would like to do, for example. So this part is a bit hard, but for some more simple exercise, you can definitely use them. And also probably the next step will be to find a way to use like just native shapes, geometric shape or something like this, because you can definitely work on like metaphor to explain stuff and the creative part without the Lego bricks actually. So probably just try to replicate the Lego brick in a mural, maybe it's not the best way to do, but using everything that is behind the LSP methodology and use other shape, maybe that's something to explore that is really interesting. So that's where we are now with the exploration. So we are creating a template with many Lego brick parts that you can play like this with, and we'll see what the community come up with in the next week as experiment. But yeah, I don't know, feeling that maybe you can just do it with geometric shape and probably you can get some nice result online.
Yeah, and I think that this opens up a whole different platform for like different ages also, since Lego is meant for all ages from 6 to, I don't know, like 100. I think this also creates a large base of people who can who can get involved in using and this new kind of learning, because the user base is much more larger, because now from any age group, there kids are coding, they're gaming, to a much later age where they're using it for different purposes. So I think this is the interaction quality also creates a very different digital experience and language as a whole. In what area, like let's say industry, do you think that this could be like a game changer for, let's say, facilitation in your
well, it's a bit
experience?
hard to say so far. I mean, so of course the first focus is the LSP facilitators to see if there's a new tool for them to use remotely. But what I could see in Mural, so we have a space which is like community mural, I think .co, and we have people there that speak about how they use Mural or new ideas or new template, that kind of things. And often we have comments from people who are like working in schools or university, and they are looking for activities that they can do with their students, because they also went remotely, of course, and they can use Mural. And so there is also a good opportunity with this kind of place, a teaching and a learning place, the school. And I think they are looking also for activities like this to run with the students. And usually they want that kind of content, actually, or like the connect, the .4 connection things, or they're really looking for that kind of add-on to Mural, I would say.
Yeah. And also the thing is that, like you said, for metaphors, this is such a known language and a known for many and unknown for many, that I think for people who are, let's say, even if it's difficult, I think to use that logic from, let's say, 3D to 2D, I think the translation would be easier. Yes, for some it might be very frustrating if you don't know it, in technical terms, like what we saw now. But also I feel that, it opens up the scope of experience in a large way, and we had this session a few months ago by this person called Arnold Kuning, who was talking about non-verbal communication. So something like this would definitely fit into non-verbal communication, because a lot of people think more with their, let's say, their mind rather than their words. So for that, and it's also in terms of accessibility, let's say, to make it more inclusive for people who are differently abled, this could be a great exercise.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see how people are going to use it, because actually that's really the most interesting part. Once we create some kind of template and we give it, to everyone to try, then I think we'll see how people manage to use it and if it kind of helps any category of people. So I'm really looking forward to see this. I think the main template will be released maybe in 1 week, so I will try to share the link.
Yes,
it's
exactly.
really about many Legos, many Lego brick, a lot of Lego brick and ideas for activities, and people can just go there and kind of pick what they want and experiment. And I think
definitely
that
share it with us, because then we can upload it onto our website and send people there. So that'll be amazing, because I think people are looking at different assets of Lego that they can use on their mural, and that would be great. Can I hear, like, Danny, would you like to add something, or are you multitasking, or anyone else?
Yeah. Hi, Anupan.
Hi, nice to see you again.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah.
I don't know. I seem to keep running into some kind of a problem when it comes to Mural and both the Miro board. So I probably need to fix that thing because this looks very exciting. And when you brought in that piece around the fear of failure and how you can overcome that, because you're looking at, I mean, I was actually looking at that first activity of the duck and the house, and now you're actually looking at something which has some kind of a deeper relevance. Okay, so Benjamin, you did mention that probably this could be used as an icebreaker. I have an engagement coming up with very senior audience who haven't been introduced to design thinking, right? And I'm actually putting together a design to see how I can socialize the concept. And um, would you have any thoughts around how I can use this mural, because earlier a lot of these workshops used to be done face to face, and I was actually looking at some kind of a digital, a virtual fun activity that we could come up with where they could try something creative. And this looks good, but I'm trying to figure out how I can use it with an audience who has no idea about design thinking. And this is a client that's based out of the US, and it's a large client. So I want to give them something that's interesting, that's going to hold their interest for the while.
Well, I would say it's probably you can find a way to combine an icebreaker with Lego bricks or any shape and introduction to design thinking. But I don't know if you can make this pose during the icebreaker, because design thinking is one thing. I mean, it's really methodology. I think you can give them some elements first to have a fun icebreaker online so that they can see what is possible already. And then you can come up with kind of an exercise or a topic that leads to design thinking understanding. For example, I don't know if you can do this, but if you can have a quick like ideation about this, and then we vote. So, like diverge, converge, like once or twice, super basic, so that they can see the principle. I don't know if you can combine this with Lego bricks, but maybe it can be like go broad, make many duck, and then we vote to converge to choose the one we prefer or whatever. And then you can go broad again. Maybe you can find a way to combine like this, which would be a really basic way to explain design thinking. But I guess you just need to use something that they are okay to use, because if they see the duck and they are really not used to Mural, and they are going to be frustrated, like they don't know how to play with it. So maybe something even more simple, maybe just a shape, or you can prepare already some shape in advance. There's a famous icebreaker on Mural, which is you have like icons of eyes, nose, and hair, and whatever. You already prepare them before, and you just say drag them to create your avatar, kind of. So this is easier, for example.
Okay. I think that's a nice suggestion, because I don't want to because already they'll be grappling with a little bit of an abstract idea about what design thinking is, and I'm looking at how can I still hold their interest, and this is good. I think the divergence convergence kind of an approach, and subtly letting them know that here's how it flows into the design thinking philosophy would be interesting to experiment with. Thank you, Benjamin.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.
I've just told the breakout rooms that they have about 5 more minutes before we bring them back, and then they can share their experience.
I think we see already a bit less activity, but it seems, yeah. Let's try to see who said what already. And Gerald, maybe they started to introduce. I think some people followed the rule of 5 bricks and many people didn't, but it's totally okay. It seems it's not too laggy, so it's fine.
Yeah, I think, the comfort level of, using a new tool or a tool that they're just getting into it. And then, when it's so fast paced, you just do what you feel very naturally connected to. I've seen that in workshops that it's their own, like skills that kick in first, and then they kind of use the agenda of the session. But I think this is interesting to see. I'm really amazed at how people from different worlds are kind of creating the same visual language, like with the house. That was really nice. Mim, you've not said anything. Do you want to add something as your thoughts?
It looks like real fun. No, that's all my comment. If you look right now in the in Mural, right, that we're sharing,
Yeah.
It looks like everybody is just, having fun. And I wanted to add quickly that I invite a lot of people who are not fluent with Mural, but I think after this session they're gonna be on it. So yeah, they had the cram course with Benjamin.
Yeah. And I think this is a great team building exercise. So let's say if you want to convey an emotion, or there are some like undercurrents in a team, they can use like Lego as a builder, like a connector between what they have to say and what they want to communicate to a team through that, and be discreet or non-transparent. So I think it's nice. I just had a few ideas about that in terms of team building exercises where everybody has to be open and communicative.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, sir. Okay, just quickly, I think it makes me think about when I was speaking about LSP with Guy, and he kind of taught me a lot of stuff. And what really struck me, so already I was into like design thinking. I ran some design sprint, and I was kind of designer. But anyway, and it really, what struck me is like you can say anything you want. Like you take a brick, and it can be anything. Like if you want this brick to be like a water, brain, whatever, a tool, it can be. But you just need to explain. And I really like the way of you make something with the brick, and then you have to give it make sense out of it. For example, so it's really about why we are doing this, what's the meaning, what I want this as meaning, and there's kind of no right or wrong as long as you can say or you can explain or something like this. I think it was really interesting to kind of play with the brick and to try to say a story after. So it really helped me, like in a couple hours I had with him, like how to improve a bit the storytelling, explanation, that kind of things. It was really interesting, from my experiment of LSP, I would say.
Oh, hello, Larasati. It's been such a long time. Welcome to the Wednesday Web Jam. I had met her during a hackathon, and she was one of the winners, and she had created this beautiful platform that connected, if I'm not mistaken, people from Syria and other places with their skills, because it gets lost, and it was absolutely fabulous. So nice to see you. We should chat soon.
Hi, Anupa. Oh my God.
Yeah, hi. What a great place to, this is the Wednesday Web Jam. We just keep meeting people on and off. Yeah, I will. Should I get people back?
Yeah,
what do you think, Benjamin?
It's no more moving, so we can get everyone's back here.
Yes. Okay. Let me just do that. Yeah, so we're going to give people about a minute or so to come back and talk about their experience. We were just for you, since you've just joined, this was a whole we're just getting to know how to use Lego or Mural. So I'm going to share the link with you. You can see what all has happened. And yeah, her digital skills are far higher than mine, so I think she can quickly do some of the exercises. So are people coming back? Yes.
Yeah, in 10 seconds, I think.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see who has what to say. Do people want to start just talking about and sharing what they did, how they felt, any experience that they'd like to talk about?
Oh. In my case, I am the frog, the green. I was not able to pick up the other Lego pieces. They were left. So I put like kind of like the available ones, and I made myself into a frog. So probably I'm waiting for my princess to kiss me or something like that. I don't know.
Is this kind of related to your job title, or is it more like
no, not really. No.
I love it.
That was me.
Anyone else? Frankie, would you like to share your outcome?
Sure. Mine is number 2. You see there's like, I broke the rules as well, which is much more complicated with the 4 flying wheel and the rows. It's like a car. I was thinking of myself as an architect, really to design learning experiences for people to embrace change. That way of constructing the car feels right, and also because those are the bricks that's around there. So I just play with that. So that's what I have.
And how does it like relate to your like LinkedIn profile or who you are?
Well, I can tell a story right now. I just do it for fun. I think it relates to LinkedIn profile because it really captures our imaginations. We can just build and create anything as we want based on that. And my LinkedIn profile is about being creative. So that's just a way to represent. Yeah.
Thank you. That was very nice. Anyone else?
I really want Ilona to share. She said our Lego pieces exploded in the middle of the breakout room. It was experimental art.
You know, you can guess which breakout room we were. I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, if it's this one, yeah.
I'm just laughing so hard.
But it was a nice exercise, Benjamin. We had fun.
Yeah.
That is good. All right. So we have one last, you can continue chatting, just one last thing to, I mean, it's not an exercise, but after you will have a moodometer if you want just to take a break and to rate a bit your experience and say what worked well, what didn't work well, what you liked and kind of things. So we can have some more feedback about this session. But yeah, maybe we can have one last, I think Laxman did something quite minimalistic. What is this, Laxman? Maybe if you're still here.
Okay, I was just trying to showcase that right now in this current situation, we are immobile. So the bottom end is something which can rotate, but forced to be immobile. But at the same time, it has not stopped us from expressing ourselves, meeting people, making new connections and experiencing all spectrum of emotions. So that's what I brought it out. And without a head, the head showcasing that not being worried about whom we are meeting, where we are meeting, just happy to get on board and talk to each other, connect with each other across the globe without the physical boundary restriction.
Yeah, love it. And yeah, using something that can rotate without rotating is a good way to explain what is Lego in Mural. Yeah. Thanks.
So just use the existing link that is already been provided for the last exercise, and then we can yeah, Peggy, this was, I mean, it's I think, yeah, even if it was difficult, I think it's a good prep session for people to get familiar and use Lego more creatively. You know, I mean, that's why that's why the session was Lego and Mural, and it doesn't matter what experience you come with, it's always a great space to learn something new and, you know, take it forward. And on that note, thank you, Benjamin, so much for, you know, creating such a experimental and innovative session. Mimp and I will definitely do this, you know, later and tell you what we experienced. It was very nice, and I'm sure, yeah, please give us all the links that are there, like what you were talking about earlier, that, you know, where you know, Mural is going to come out with you know, with Lego pieces and you know, the Mural file, which, you know, people can use later on.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and any last words from you before we introduce the next session?
Well, just thank you everyone for joining. I hope this hour was well used, and especially that you could practice and learn. That was really the goal. If after this session you managed to start exploring how to design Mural a bit differently, it's a win for us and for me. And I hope it was not too frustrating, that some stuff it was a bit hard to do or to explore. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining. It was great. And I give it back to Anpa.
Mim, would you share this? Oh no, let people, I think we will give them maybe 2 or 3 more minutes. Okay. And Jimena, would you like to introduce your next speaker?
Yes, so our next speaker for the next session is Ofri Hirsch and Cornelia Walther. And a little bit about what they will share with us next session is our connection with food, how we relate to our personal growth and aspirations, and like this deeper connection that exists. So sometimes we take food for granted, but there is more to like about it. And so yeah, we will find more about what there is on our connection and relationship with food and ourselves. So join next session.
And the link is in the chat.
And the link's in the chat.
And we'll also put in some links for Benjamin, if you'd like to get in touch with him or see some of his work. Yes.
And also we will be sharing on our more about our speakers, and Cornelia and Ofri as well.
Yeah. And I'm just going to put the register chat below again. Mim, should we switch off YouTube and then start backstage, where it's more casual, more fun, and not recorded?
Yes, and before we do that, I'd like to thank all our volunteers. And shall we mention Kofi?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's get some coffee.
Yes,
let's get some coffee.
We we're all doing this out of our love and appreciation, and thanks to such a growing community. If you'd like to show your love for us, and if you want us to keep going on, it would be great if you add to our coffee link. And we can move to the backstage.
Yeah, so a quick one. It's not 60%, we've raised over 50% now. So if you can keep buying us coffee and get us to 100%, that would be great. Thank you so much. And I will.
Thank you.
Let's move to the backstage. And before that, let's wave goodbye to YouTube.
Bye.
Bye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube. Goodbye.